Okay, this is gonna be a game on Blackburn. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, TylerJohnson, and in the bottom right-hand corner, we're gonna have the blue Zerg player, onewarm. Let's see what we got here today. Standard pylon opening. It's gonna be Overlord's gonna pop out, head towards the natural. This is normal game speed, right? Looks like it's gonna be a gateway first opening. It's gonna be a pool, a 17 or an 18 pool from onewarm. 17 pool, perhaps? 18 pool, I missed that. That's okay. Overlord's gonna head over, first Overlord's gonna head on over to the main base, second Overlord's gonna scout the natural, make sure there's no cannons or anything like that. You can put down the natural, it's 17 supply. No gas though. It's really, why is there no gas? There's, okay. Looks like we are not gonna put down a gas. Okay, there's the gas. TylerJohnson's scouting probe is going to come in and find this, it seems. Meanwhile, back at home, we're building 2 more pylons. We already filled up a gas, and we're at 22 supply. No sign of an expansion, and no sign of a cyber core. Okay, we're going to get the cyber core now. Only going to put 2 on gas. Meanwhile, I'm scouting probe. Over here. Overlord is going to come in and see that the cyber core has only just begun. Meanwhile, another pylon going down the natural base. 2 lings are in the bottom with a queen on the wing. onewarm seems to be just as confused as I am. He's frantically, it's like he's going to see that there is not a natural expansion. TylerJohnson's gonna wall up the main base with a shield battery at the back. It's really interesting that he chooses to do a high ground wall off here instead of a low ground wall off. But seeing as how he's going for a 1 base play of some sort, that makes sense since he doesn't want to commit to protecting the low ground if he's not actually gonna put a nexus there for a while. So Pro's gonna come down here, put down another gateway. Shield battery's still on the way. Looks like onewarm doesn't have any immediate plans of attacking. He is going to drone up, put down a creep tomb here. That's an interesting placement for a spore crawler. I guess, fair enough, you can wait for the creep to spread all the way down here and the spore down there. But I'm not sure why he'd be afraid of Stargate play. Oh, right, because he sees nothing in this base and he thinks there's probably a proxy somewhere. But where is your Overlord? Where is your oh my god, your Overlord's over there. Okay, well we're gonna wall off the low ground with a shield battery, 2 pylons, and 2 more gateways. 3rd expansion maybe coming up for onewarm soon. Doesn't look like it though. 2 Stargates. It's gonna be a 2 Stargate. Gonna be double Stargate coming out of TylerJohnson. Meanwhile, onewarm is just started making his lair. And he's only just started. Okay, he's been getting link speed for a while, but that is still pretty late. onewarm still looking on the map. Another queen's gonna pop out. He's gonna throw down an Evo chamber now. Question is, what he's gonna do with that Evo chamber? These lings are gonna come up and yep, it's a wall. That's a wall. You can't break that. Not with 2 lings, you're not gonna break that. Especially not slow lings. It's like 3rd base went down a little while ago for onewarm. Say 20 seconds ago. Queen's gonna walk up. Okay, never mind. We're not gonna do it. We're not walking the queen anywhere. Okay. First, I thought we were gonna see something crazy here, but it's pretty standard so far. Hallucinated Phoenix is gonna head towards this direction. What is our tech here? We're gonna put down a macro hatch before the 3rd hatch is even up. Okay. this Phoenix is gonna come in. It's gonna die immediately. It's not gonna see anything. That's okay, because there isn't anything anyway. Hydralisk's dead. Oh, whoops, I missed this Hydralisk dead. A few extra Zerglings made just to join their buddies. Scouting the natural ramp of the Protoss player so he doesn't just go out and kill him. Third base is finally done for onewarm. I have a few. Onewarm is being pretty active on the map with these Zerglings. Kudos to him. But this Overlord is not really doing anything useful aside. It's not even scouting the minerals. He needs to move it over here a bit in order to see if there's a base there. And onewarm has zero idea what TylerJohnson is about to go for. He sees a Phoenix, but he probably knows it's hallucinated unless he doesn't know. Infestation Pit is done. Our incomes are still pretty even, though TylerJohnson is actually not mining nearly as much gas. Where's his gas income? He's gone double Stargate, but he's not making 4 gases. He's gonna... Okay, he's gonna 2 gas it. Alright. Both sides are... Okay, the Zerg finally goes back to making workers. He's gonna make Hydralisks with, I believe that is +1 range and +1 terror base, with a lurker den on the way, and we're finally gonna get our hive. Finally, the third base goes down for TylerJohnson at a 6:35ish, which is a bit late, maybe. Yeah, that is a bit late considering he didn't really get there. He wasn't really under any pressure or anything. It wasn't like he was attacking, so he just sort of made a few army units and just set with them at home. But that's okay. If those sooner or later that army from onewarm is going to come over here and he's going to need something to fight that. So, +1 air armor on the way for TylerJohnson. The Zerglings are going to break down these rocks pretty good. You're going to want to break down rocks if your opponent is going for a sky heavy composition and you're on the ground. Those rocks will just get in the way if you're on the ground. Overseer is going to come in and finally scout a Robo and a double Stargate. And he even sees that there's void race, so that's very nice. But what is he going to do with that information? It's 7:40 and the Hive finally finishes up. What is he going to do with Hive? He's going to make 6 lurkers over here, but what's his first move now that he has Hive? Looks like he's going to get, I believe that is the burrow upgrade. Speed and burrow upgrade for lurkers. I forget what that one is called. Pylon, pylon, pylon. We're just putting down pylons at this base. Pre-spread looks, pre-spread is pretty decent coming out of onewarm. Actually, this is a really dense creep to whereas if I was onewarm, I think I would be taking the 4th base right now. Both onewarm is starting to float a bit of money, and one can only wonder what he's going to spend it on. Spire on the way, just started for onewarm. More panels in here. It's a lot of extra supply. Onewarm with not nearly as much extra supply. Onewarm, are you gonna see this? Oh my god, you actually saw nothing. You actually saw it? Okay, we're gonna see that he's a 3rd base. Those Zerglings aren't gonna get a lot done. Alright, we're bringing 2 shield batteries. Yeah, run away, run away. Okay, let's see. What do the armies look like? We have 4 Hydras, 6 Lurkers, and 6 Queens, 12 Zerglings, versus 12 Stalkers, 5 Void Rays, a Sentry in itself. So if we bring the entire army together, including the Queens, we have a pretty decent shot at killing the entire ground army from Protoss. And then the Queens and Hydralisks can deal with those Void Rays. But the creep spread is good, but it's not. This is the main attack path in the middle, and the creep spread down the main attack path is not very good. It's much more extensive on the upper part of the map. TylerJohnson not going to see anything this way. He's going to see something over here. What is it? He's going to see that the lurker den is finished and that there's a hive. I mean, I I think most players of this caliber most Zerg players of this caliber will get a hyper at around this time. So you're going to see there's a creep from the 4th base and there's a 3rd base. So yeah. Also, this pile of overload is really exposed. I hope that doesn't become a factor later in the game, because that could be really bad. That is enough overloads to potentially cause a supply block if he kills all of them. Okay. Zerg player is continuing to spread the creep. Looks like we're going to take a high ground. This is a really interesting approach. We're going to claim the high ground with these creep tuners. Observer sees that there's creep over here. That is not a good sign for TylerJohnson. Queens are going to continue spreading creep. What is TylerJohnson's POV? Looks like we are not too concerned at immediately speaking about the creep. So we are going to let TylerJohnson do his own thing for now. These lurkers are going to break down these rocks, man. Breaking down rocks is usually good for ground armies against air armies because it allows them to move around more. But when you're lurker Hydra and your opponent has the more like surround-based comp that gets more needs to surround you in order to get a better angle at your lurkers, especially these stalkers, which are very vulnerable lurkers. I'm not sure opening up those rocks is a good idea, but honestly, with these stalker counts versus this lurker count, it's not going to matter. The stalkers are going to die instantly. Looks like production, there's a mothership that's done? Okay. Okay, we're finally getting some interaction. At 11 minutes and 40 seconds, these lurkers are coming in. What is TylerJohnson going to do? He's going to cannon battery the crap out of this forward 3rd base. Or forward 4th base, rather. Oh no, they're going to walk over. Stalkers are going to walk right into the lurkers. Okay, we're going to pull away. Spore Forest is interesting, though. Okay, and we completely neglected creep spread down the middle. Spore Forest is interesting. We're going to keep the Void Rays and the Mothership at bay by just sporing the crap out of this location. Those are overlapping. It kind of looks like it should be possible. Observer is going to keep tabs on the creep spread going this way. What is the tech looking like? TylerJohnson is currently getting mass carriers. 4 carries at a time. Looks like onewarm is realizing that the Hydra Queen is not going to cut it, and he's going for Corruptors. +3 ranged attack for ground, +2 melee, +2 air weapons, +1 air armor, and upgrades for the Sky Tower. Sky Toss are just going to be Flux Veins and +2 air armor. So we are only now just getting close to finishing up +1 air weapons, which is possibly quite bad because this ground army has a lot of upgrades. Hydralisks are not the most durable thing when it comes to fighting Sky Toss, but when the upgrades are this much in favor of the Zerg, it could be a problem. So the lurkers are going to rotate down from the high ground, away from these spores. Interesting. Looks like we're looking for a direct attack angle on this forward base. Meanwhile, TylerJohnson broke down these rocks already. onewarm is not broken down these rocks, and he's going to go for it. Lurker, Hydra, Corruptor, just go in. Corruptors aren't doing anything because we can't shoot the ground, and we're not using Cosmic Spray right now. Sky Void Ray Carrier is going to drive everything away. Okay, we are gonna get +3 air armor, +2 air weapons, +1 shields. The Zerg is still getting his upgrades for himself. I thought those would be done by now. Mothership is a lot of energy, but is it gonna matter? Corruptors are gonna corrupt. Okay, Time Milk is thrown down, but it doesn't look like it's gonna miss the army, and the Corruptors are not likely. The Corruptors are not likely. Looks like the Void Rays are going to focus down the spores first, and they're going to go for the... I don't know what exactly they're trying to shoot at, but it's mostly... This is working because Zerg is not focusing anything. He's just going to shoot the interceptors. Mothership finally goes down, but the Time Milk is cast on half the Corruptors, which is going to cut this DPS significantly. And... oh my god, oh, okay, I guess we're going to recall out here. That was probably a good call. At first it looked like it was going really bad for the Zerg player, but then the carrier just ran out of interceptors. And as you know, interceptors cost minerals, which is usually not a big deal in this stage of the game, but they also cost time, which is something that you don't always have much of. This base is done. Zerg is onewarm is taking a 5th base up here, and a 6th base down here. Looks like the Hydras are coming back in for a poke. What is TylerJohnson going to do for a spot of that? +2 air armor is almost done. Oh god, he's just going to do 3 flash shots. Okay, Nexus will go down, but at what cost? Overall, Protoss's overall onewarm has been slightly less efficient than TylerJohnson through this game, which is to be expected. Naturally, Zerg units tend to trade less favorably per resource, though what would be amazing if onewarm just gets some Vipers. He hasn't gotten a single spellcaster in this game, aside from the Queen, of course. And interestingly, aside from the Mothership, TylerJohnson will not get us any AoE damage or spellcasters either. These single interceptors just shoot forward. This is not good. These interceptors just die the second they come out if they're not supported by a cloud of like 50 others with them. So we're going to come down. One more is going to come down here and finish the job, killing that base. Oh no, run. Run! He's going to retreat to the Spore Hollow Forest, kill a few interceptors back. This observer's still here, and he still does he know about this base? He does not even know that these rocks are broken yet. That is possibly quite bad for the Zerg, but it doesn't really matter yet because he's not mining. TylerJohnson is starting to run out of money. He has a decent bank, but he's also almost maxed out, but his upgrades are not quite done yet. Those upgrades need to be finished, and he needs to get some kind of AoE to deal with this. Because like the Voiders are a fantastic addition to deal with the Corruptors, but the carriers on their own will not deal well with these Corruptors. They just have too much armor. Especially because +2 air armor, +2 air armor, +2 air. Yeah, this is a lot of great fight. Okay, Void Rays are gonna go down and focus on the Spore Colors. And we are not okay. Finally, we're gonna get back to actually focusing on the carriers, but these interceptors, they're just too much of a problem. There are too many interceptors. Yeah, oh my god, that's a lot of extra lost resources for this Zerg. I don't think, does he have a way to come back from this? The Zerg player is, the Zerg player is nothing. He's got 13 Hydralisks and 4 Queens. And 7 Corruptors on the way. One more can't fight this with this army. He needs to pull back and wait for getting beaten in battle, collect your thoughts first. That's not a very nice thing to say. What did he do to you? The war is not done, TylerJohnson says. Alright, buddy. So TylerJohnson is just gonna... What is TylerJohnson doing? He's gonna clear out the Spore Forest. The Hydralisks and the Corruptors are back in a decent number, and they are gonna focus on that Mothership. He doesn't have protection, so he had to run after the Mothership. And all of these Void Rays and carriers just got free damage on the side. And the carriers continue to push. Is there anything else that's going on right now? Nope, just Hydras, Interceptors, and probes being made. I don't know why he's making more probes when he's not okay. These bases are massively oversaturated. They're mined out to hell, and back he needs literally probes. Carriers are going to continue to move in. Mothership is going to be produced again. Yep, okay, and those Overlords are just hanging out there. Okay. Void Rays are going to focus down those Hydras, those Corruptors. Dramatic alignment. Really good, guys. Void Rays actually slower with prismatic alignment and flux fates than these Overlords. Fun fact, did you know that flux fates actually reduces your speed in prismatic alignment? It's crazy, but like prismatic alignment already makes you slow before, but once you get get flex veins, it actually makes you slow. Okay, looks like TylerJohnson won. With, okay, we're gonna keep onewarm and TylerJohnson are, okay, TylerJohnson's still in the game. He says, wow. Okay, TylerJohnson is gonna do a victory lap around here. Okay, I guess we'll speed this up. Okay, finally left the game. Okay, so, how do I pull up units lost? I believe there's a thing for this. Let me go look it up. This is so embarrassing. So, overall thoughts on this game. Overall thoughts on this game. Okay, I do not know how to bring up the units lost, which is a damn shame. I'm pretty sure there's a thing for that. Anyway, resources lost is going to be 33,000 from onewarm and only about 20,000 from TylerJohnson. So as it turns out, when Hydras and Corruptors don't focus fire carriers and Void Rays, they attack interceptors instead, and they just don't get anything done. In order to just deal with interceptors, you need a bit more DPS than that. And Corruptors do great damage against massive units, but they're not like Hydralisks when it comes to just having that raw base DPS. So they're not good for killing interceptors as quickly, although they do take less damage because of their base 2 armor. So this base eventually never really got to mining, and this base was never fully built. But yeah. All right. So that was a game, I guess. Anyway, this has been Hyper1, casting my first replay ever that has been sent to me by, I believe, TylerJohnson sent me this game. So TylerJohnson will get to see this video, this cast on YouTube in maybe a day or so. Alright, well, I'm Hyper1 signing off. Thanks for watching.